Long way, get this shit a long way, long way, long way, hit it long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Get the shit a know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get the shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way. Tryna get money every single day. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be a new slave, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pong way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I went and got some money, yeah. We gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear an ass, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, the founder of SMD. My name is LJ. All right. I am the founder of SMD. You know, I've been rewording my intros just differently, more and more on how I feel. What I'm here to do is share a gift. And I've been granted this gift simply because I decided to own myself. By owning myself, I was granted the gift of understanding that capitalism is psychological. And it always has been, always. And the reason why I didn't know that is because I was choosing not to trust a calculator. That's it. That's the simple fact. That is it. Why wasn't I trusting the calculator? Because everybody around me was doing it. They thought it was normal, right? And since I decided to say, you know, I will trust the calculator, and voila, now I own myself. And with the reward for owning myself is the understanding of capitalism being psychological. That is the reward. That is the gift. Now, you know, when you grow up, you hear stories about people saying things, they knew things in their life, when you're just a watcher and a spectator, you're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, they all say that, yeah. But I've known I was different or gift or something ever since I was a young child. I've always felt like that, but I can't really tell nobody that. Hey, I feel really special or something. I always had this feeling inside of me that I was always different. Always, always, but just could never explain it. But throughout my life, through as a young child, as a kid growing up in grade school, there's always certain cliques or certain teams or certain. I was always part of that crowd, and in my mind, being part of that crowd was just that's what it was. Period. I wasn't going to accept anything less than the best being known with the best crowds or whatever. And that went on with work. I always made sure I stood out because for some reason, deep inside of me, I always wanted to make sure any job I had, they knew I was different than everybody else. And when I achieved all these goals, you go to college, climb the corporate ladder, all that stupid fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. That's a program. Believe that. I'm here to tell you that is a motherfucking program. No, you don't. You got to do none of that. All you got to do is own yourself by believing the calculator. That is it. You come over here, you're granted this gift because in order to be granted the gift of understanding that capitalism is psychological, you have to do everything right to get here. You have to get here and to ever understand what I'm telling you today, you have to do everything correctly. Step 1, own yourself first and you'll understand why that is. And again, all I had to do was trust the calculator every time. Just ignore what everybody around me was saying. This is how you do this. This is how you buy a car. This is how you buy a house. This is how you get rental properties. This is all talking about borrowed money. All debt slaves talking about owning shit with borrowed money. Everything they're saying makes no mathematical sense. All I had to do was just look at the calculator and understand that everybody around me was saying things that make no mathematical sense. All by trusting the calculator. Excuse me. Now, yesterday I was on Ramil's show, and they were talking about cryptocurrency. Now, those of you that follow me, you understand that no currency exists for debt slaves, none, zero, but they don't know that. Okay? And all they have to do is believe the calculator and they would clearly see that, right? Now you hear me on the show yesterday. Guys getting pissed off and just yelling and screaming, and the whole time you hear me in the background saying, "Hey, let me show you on a calculator. Hey, pull up a calculator. Let me show you." They all refuse to do it. "Oh, you think I'm stupid? You think I'm this? You think?" No, that's what you think about yourself. All I'm asking you to do is pull up the calculator. "Oh, you think I'm dumb? You think I'm this? I'm not. Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? I'm not saying anything but pull up the calculator. It's bananas. No, not here. I'm gonna put it in here later. I promise. Hey, look at F you. You don't know what you're talking about. Screaming, getting all emotional. And you got to remember this too. I want you guys to understand why I stay calm, right? Now, when you guys are seeing me stay calm, I'm not trying to do that. I really am, because this is why. When I see them get emotionally and angry at mathematics, I understand that they are being mad. They're mad at mathematics. They're not really mad at me. They're just mad at me saying what I'm. They're mad at me because I'm saying what's on the calculator and they're not liking it. They can't look at the calculator and be mad at the calculator. They don't know to do that. But if I'm saying, hey, look at the calculator, now they got somebody to aim their anger at. It's bananas how when I see them get worked up like that, that should be amazing the shit out of me. It amazes me. I'm like, you hear me in the background say, hey man, just listen. No, just listen. Watch, just listen. And then you guys saw that I put it up on. I had Ramil pull up a calculator, right? Excuse me. And then I did an example of what's 5,000 minus 50,000, negative 45,000. I was like, hey, what can you do with that amount of money? They still refuse to even. I'm like, aren't you looking at the same calculator I'm looking at? But in reality, listen. In reality, I know why they can't see it because they don't understand that capitalism is psychological. They don't know that. So it's a double-edged sword, right? I already know why they're angry. They're angry. They're angry because the math don't make no sense to them. But if they just believe what was on the calculator and accept it, they'd be on their way. I mean, I'm trying to and those of you guys that follow me, I want you guys to at the same time, I want you to recognize the power of the debt matrix, okay? Forget that they're getting angry and they're calling me names. Forget all that. Just pay attention that they're doing it. You can't stop them and say, "Hey," with a calm voice, "Hey, why are you acting like that? I'm just showing you what's on the calculator. Why are you angry?" They won't understand what that means. It's bananas, isn't it? That's the power. And you guys must also know this, okay? In order for psychological capitalism to work, those guys getting mad, it is very important for those guys to continue to believe their entire lives that they own things with borrowed money. That's important for them to think that because the majority the majority must not know capitalism is psychological. They cannot know that. Trust me, they would not know that in many lifetimes. Okay, don't worry about it. It's no like right now, like you guys listening to this, the majority of you guys will know. The majority of you will never know what I'm talking about ever. The majority will. You guys will never know what I'm talking about. And let me tell you an and. What I'm saying in this video right now, it won't matter the year you hear it. Everything I'm saying right now will apply 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years, 50, 100, 150 years. The same thing will apply. Why? Because it has to be that way. It has to be that way. It doesn't matter what I'm really talking. You know who I'm here for? Let me tell you who I'm here for. I am here for the people like me that was wandering around the debt matrix, knowing that there was something financially wrong, knew I was doing something financially incorrect, something wasn't making any sense. And you got all these people around you trying to sell you the way to it. And all they had to do was just look at myself. Do I own myself? No, just logged into my credit report. If I was just so smart, I would have logged into my credit report, saw the big negative number, and clearly understood that I didn't own myself. Clearly. You mean everybody around me with mortgages that think they're homeowners? They're not? Nope, they're not. Nuh-uh. They're psychological homeowners. They're not real homeowners. You can't buy a home with a mortgage. They don't know that. They don't know mortgages by people, not houses. They don't know that. Car loans by people, not cars. Who told you that? The calculator sure in the hell didn't tell you that. Nuh-uh, no. I'm here to catch I'm here to wake up those people that just hey, I was you, just wondering, hey, it's nothing's getting ahead, no matter how much money I'm making, no matter how great my business is doing, all this money I'm bringing in millions, I'm still living check to check. What is wrong? I'm telling you the answer right here because it doesn't matter how much money you make. You just can't figure it out. I'm here to give you the answer. Especially, listen, especially if you know how to make money, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. Don't worry about how I know. Just say, yeah, that's me. Okay. Just you gotta be real with yourself, right? So like you make two or three, $3 million a year, right? And you're showing the world you got all this money with the houses and the cars and the stuff, but in reality, you still living check to check. I'm talking to you. Yes, I'm talking to you. All right. I see through all that. You know why? Because I understand that capitalism is psychological. I understand that. So I see through all that. So that means I see you. You know how I see you? All I got to do is listen to you, how you speak about finances, how you talk. Because if you're really rich, but you're still in debt, you still only speak debt. You have no idea the language of debt free exists. You don't know because you've never been. You've never been. So that means you don't know. You don't know. I can see you. Now, you can either get mad and get upset how I'm doing or whatever, but you got to think to yourself, how come he can see me and nobody else that looks at me can't? They can't see me. How come he can? Don't worry about how. Just know that I can. If you know how to make money and then you understand how it really works, you'll thank me for the rest of your life. You'd pay me $1 million. You sure would. You'd be like, oh my God, I did not know this. Yep, right here. Here you go, right there. What do you mean? Capitalism is psychological. I'll tell you. I'll show you. So when you hear these guys, listen, for the people that are just like, for the people that just, they see this crypto and they're like, oh my God, I better get in. That's the way to get money. Everybody's a professional and all this other stuff. You just don't know who to pick. Who's the right person to help you invest in this invisible currency, And so what you don't know is, are you getting information from a person that has student loan debt older than their children telling you about how to invest in crypto? That's wrong. You don't take investment advice from people who are in debt. That's wrong. They don't know that they can't do that. Once you understand, you will understand that they are the cryptocurrency. They just don't know they are. That's it. It's not rocket science. So when people get mad at what I say, it doesn't you're not getting mad at me. You're getting mad at math. And then you got to think about isn't that pretty stupid to get mad at math? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. That's like you're upset because 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now you're mad. Have you ever seen somebody get angry about, hey man, I sure hate 1 plus 1 equals 2? That's how stupid it sounds. Yes, that's how stupid it sounds. So like if you believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage, right? You open up your calculator You put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You're going to see a large negative number, right? That says you're not a homeowner. That's what that says. That large negative number says you own nothing. You don't own no equity. You don't own anything. And if you still choose, listen, if you still say to yourself, I don't care what that calculator says, that's your problem. That's a choice. Okay. That's a choice. Because if you don't if you don't own yourself, you don't know credit reports are owner's ledgers. That's how they keep track of all you guys. That's how you excuse me. You are the stock. You log into your credit report, see all the businesses money that you owe. Yeah, they own you. Credit scores are reward points for staying in debt. Hey, thanks for staying in debt. Oh, you're a bad slave. Whatever. Hey, whatever they do in there that's their business. I don't care what credit reporting agencies do. So what? Who cares? They're all private businesses. They're there to make money. So what? Who cares? You can't buy a house with a mortgage. You can't do that. Mortgage, leasing, that's the same thing. It's not your money. So when I go in groups like that, you guys probably really, it doesn't seem like it, but I'm happy to get one person. I'm happy to reach one person. And I did. I'm sure I reached more. I go in those type of groups. There's one or two people that will just be blown away at what I'm saying. You're like, oh shit, yeah, that's come on over. You ever want to own yourself? Come on over. Once you do, nobody will be able to stop you. Nobody. You could be able to do anything you want, anything. You will have x-ray vision through all the financial bullshit, all of it, all of it. X-ray vision. Like the majority of people that are telling you about cryptocurrency, guess what? They're all in debt. Okay? The investment advice you are receiving is from a debt perspective. Okay? It's from a debt perspective. Somebody in debt is telling you how to invest. That's wrong. That's wrong. You're taking advice from somebody that don't even own themselves. They don't even own themselves, and the majority of them don't even know it. Even when I show them on the calculator, even when I was trying my hardest on the Ramil show. I was trying so hard to try to get them to look at the calculator, and they just absolutely refuse. But at the same time, I understand why it's like that because it must be. Now, that's very difficult to explain, okay? I don't really know how to explain it, but I know it must be that way. But like I said, it takes people for all of this to work. So there must be people here that understand also, but the majority must listen. The majority must not understand, but there still must be people that do understand know and understand how it works and here to keep it working that way. People that come and say, "Oh, that's why you follow all the tax laws." Got it. Got it. That's why the penalty is so harsh when you try to do tax evasion. Got it. It's the backbone. Got it. Got it. Understood. Understood. All right, let me gather my shit up. Let me just put it all together. Find somebody that's debt free to put all my pieces together. And you better believe somebody moving like that, they can clearly see I am somebody that understand how it works because you make moves different. Totally different. Totally different. Totally different moves. Totally different. Because you see how it all works. You see how it all works. I don't care if people get mad. It doesn't matter to me. If you're not getting mad at me, you're getting mad at mathematics. That's dumb. Yelling, getting off of, I'm like, why? Damn. But again, at the same time, it's like I said, a double-edged sword. I understand why they're doing it, but as soon as I see them get emotional, I just emotionally detach because I know they're getting mad at math, and that's irrelevant to mathematics. Math doesn't care how you feel about it; it just is. Bananas. It's like I can't really go onto a show like that and really lay it down what it really is because nobody would ever understand what that meant. You know, every now and then I was throwing out, well, it doesn't exist, but they're like, what do you mean it doesn't exist? You just said not pass it to you just said don't pass the 5,000. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how to explain that. Okay, you know, you try to break it down, but you can't explain it. You just said it wasn't real. And it's like, man, that's the power of the debt matrix. It's it's just so powerful. It's amazing to watch, man. It really is. Sometimes when I see somebody get that emotional over just showing them the calculator, right? And they get that emotional and that mad, that shit shows me, okay, number one, that clearly shows me that they're in debt. Okay. They're clearly in debt because only somebody in debt will get that angry, right? Because if you're not in debt, you wouldn't care. It's like, yeah, well, whatever, that's right. So I'm not in debt. I don't care. I own myself. So yeah, that's true. But when you see them get that angry, you automatically know they're in debt, automatically, right off the bat. And then when they get really emotional, they can't figure out how come they can't get around mathematics. They just keep thinking in their head like, but they don't know that there is no way around mathematics. That is just is. You understand that money is the reason why money is called currency is because it's positive and negative. Money is positive and negative. That's why they call it currency. The money you see is positive physically, and the money you don't see is negative psychologically. You don't see that. That's why they call it currency. Now, when you don't own yourself, yours is in the negative. You still got something in your hand that looks like dollars. You can touch it. You can steal it from each other. You can play with it. You can just wrap it up and have stacks of it in a closet. You can have it stacks, and you got $5,000 in a closet, but you got $50,000 in student loan debt. But you got this $5,000 hid somewhere. Think it's there. It's not there. It's not there. It doesn't matter if it's in cash, you're still at negative $45,000. It doesn't matter. You're only hiding it from yourself. It's not there, but if you think it's there and you think you can invest it in Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency, once you believe you can invest some money that you don't have into something that you've never seen, that makes you the cryptocurrency. You guys thinking about investing in cryptocurrency, you don't know who to ask. Who do you? Who do you know? Who you gonna think to ask to invest in invisible currency? Who? Why? How? What? The way the website looks? What? The stuff he has? You seen him his cars? What? He or she's car? What do you? How? What are you going by? When they say, hey, I got some crypto. You got a whole coin? No? Then shut up. If they didn't, like, for example, as Bitcoin, if they didn't break Bitcoin down in Bitcoin crumbs, their slaves couldn't play. How large do you think Bitcoin would be if they only accepted people buying whole Bitcoins at the price it is today? It wouldn't exist. So you come across as somebody that, hey, I own a chip of Bitcoin, but I know how to get some money. Hey, nope, shut up. No. Most of you guys are taking advice from people with old student loan debt. These guys are telling you about Bitcoin and some other coin, and they all got student loan debt. You don't take investment advice from people with old student loan debt. You don't do that. If they have old student loan debt, that means they for surely don't own themselves. You don't take investment advice from anybody that doesn't own themselves first. You don't do that. You don't do none of that. And you know what's so crazy? It's so simple. It is so simple. All I'm here to help the people that were just like me, walking around knowing something was wrong, and here is the answer. All you have to do is trust your calculator. That is it. This is what I mean so you can understand. This is what I mean, okay? Because it's very hard. You can't just come over here, okay? It takes a lot of mental strength. You have to be strong in your mind. You have to be. Okay? You must be strong to even do this. Now let me give you an example, okay? If you believe you're a homeowner, all right, open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and then hit equal. Okay. You have to look at that large negative number and say this: I am not a homeowner, because that's what the calculator says. And you have to accept that. You have to say, what? I'm not, right? You have to accept that you are not. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a shock to accept something like that, right? And then some things are gonna run through your head like, "What? Oh, that's all what my friends do. Everybody around me does it. My family been doing it for years. My cousins, everybody at work does it." Now, I'm here to tell you something. Who cares what they do? Doesn't matter what they do. Okay. I am here talking to you and only you. All you have to do is say, look at the large negative number on the calculator and say, I am not a homeowner, because that is what the calculator says. You might have to chant that to yourself over and over and over, because it's gonna be very hard, because you're gonna be wondering why it's so hard to believe the calculator. That's part of the program. That's why it's hard to be. It's telling you it's true, but you don't believe it. That's part of the program. Okay, you got to get through that, but you have to be mentally strong to do it. Do you think you can do that? Do you think you can look in the driveway at those cars that you're making payments on and say, open up your calculator, put in your car payment minus your car balance, and then hit equal? And then you see this large negative number, say, those cars in the driveway are not mine, because that's what the calculator says. To accept that, you have to be very strong to do that, because you got to look about, what about everybody else? They're making car payments and they're doing everything. They're saying, hey, refocus back. I am not talking to them. I am only talking to you. You look at the calculator and says, and you say to yourself, I do not own that car in my driveway because that's what the calculator says. Now you start looking at everything else you financed in your life and see everything you finance, you can be like, wow, those things look like links and chains. Yeah, those are psychological chains in links in your chain. Everything you finance is creates a link in your chain. You think I knew that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I decided to own myself, and I was like, whoa, I was doing all that to myself. I sure was. Sure was. It was all me. I'm just here to help the people that, again, that are wondering. I'm here to help you come over, and because there must be people on this side that understand too. It has to be. It has to be people. It has to be a certain amount of people here that helps people understand how it works. Successful people, the future successful whoever, because I'm just telling you, once you understand, you know you'll be able to do anything. So I'm obviously that person. Obviously, you get here, you understand the rules. You don't have to lie, cheat, steal, hide money. You just don't do any of that stuff. None of that. None of it. Once you understand that capitalism is psychological, and you know what that means? Everything in it is too. We understand that all currency is psychological to debt slaves. That's all psychological. They don't know that. You see how I say it out loud? Listen, you guys really don't understand what I mean. You see how I say it out loud? They have no idea what I'm talking about. None. Zero. They can't. You know why? Because they're in debt. They don't own themselves. That's why they get mad. Just a angry slave, angry debt slave, mad at math, not even mad at me. They're mad at math. Now you understand. Hey, again, I understand the rules. Please don't misunderstand me. I understand the rules. That's very powerful. There's no, I don't want, I know, I don't want, just the one that are wandering around. I'm not trying to, listen, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I want to make sure that is clear. Here sharing this gift, I'm not here to convince you of anything. Like, that would be like trying to convince you of mathematics. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to show the ones. Don't even matter your age. It doesn't matter your age, okay? Don't think it has anything to do with age, what group you were in, if you're a baby boomer and all this Gen Xer. I'm telling you, that is all a program. Do not put yourself in any of these debt slave categories thinking it has something to do with what year you were born in. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Nothing. All you have to do is own yourself. How do you do that? All you have to do is trust the calculator. The calculator is not a belief, it's a fact, it's a tool. That is the only way you could ever listen. And again, when you hear me say this, It will not matter the year you hear me say this, okay? Even after I'm dead 100 years, it will still be a fact. You will never understand what I'm saying if you never own yourself. I promise you, never. Like, if you're a person that believes you're just gonna die with student loan debt, you can never listen. Now, I know this will be very hard for you to grasp, to understand, but if you've made up in your mind that you're never gonna pay off your student loan debt, you can never truly understand what I'm talking about ever because you will have never owned yourself, ever. To get here, when I think about me being 52, growing up in bad areas, just certain decisions. When you're young, you just don't when you're young, and I think about myself back then with the knowledge I have today, and I look back at myself, mm, there was nobody to tell me something like this. I wish somebody would have told me something like this. Anything you do when it comes to like the law or anything, some financial laws, anything that could possibly take away the time in your life, first of all, do not ever do that, and concentrate on why if this particular law is broken, how come it can cost so much of the time? You focus in on the part and figure out why. I'm just here to tell you something. Figure out why that is. Stop the comparing, like, oh my God, you get more time for murder and the same time for tax evasion. Don't worry about that part. Get all that, put that out of your mind and concentrate on say, why is that? But the only way you're gonna be able to see it, you must first own yourself to understand why that is. Once you get out, you're like, oh, because it's the backbone of the whole damn thing. Yeah, okay, all right, got it, understood. That 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 penalty. I clearly understand the reason for that penalty now. I understand it. But you also see, the gift. You also see things on. There's things you see like. y- There's really no point in talking about it. You know, you that and that's part of the gift too. You'll start to see things that are so um just how it works, how it's supposed to be. There's really no reason to even talk about that. That's whole that's like you damn near talking to yourself at that point. You start talking about stuff like that. And there's really no point in talking about it. But so crazy. It's like, and when you hear me say it, it's like it's not like a bad thing. I'm not saying that it's something evil or something. No, it just is because it's all a choice. You get to choose which side of capitalism you want to be on. It's a choice. It is a choice. You're part of it. You're still part of it. It's you still have to follow all the rules, but you get to choose which side of it that you want to be on. There's the part that everybody sees, and then there's the psychological part, which is the whole thing. The younger you un the younger you get this, phew, the younger you understand this, anything that would have just going through life, anything that would just jeopardize cause you to lose, jeopardize the time in your life being taken away, that's the wrong move, wrong move. Because once you own yourself, this is the weirdest thing, okay? This is the weirdest feeling. Once you own yourself, once I owned myself, then and only then I really, really understood that one day I'm gonna die. It's the weirdest thing. It's like in my younger years and going through life, just working, I totally forgot that one day I'm gonna die. I totally forgot. I was so busy working and career and family, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm gonna die. I didn't realize that until I owned myself. Time is the most valuable thing on earth. It's like, whoa. So, now here I am on the other side, right? I'm on the other side, and I look back in my younger years, the things I did, certain things I should have did, maybe not have did, just stuff that would have costed me the time in my life could have totally derailed where I'm at today, could have totally derailed it. But to me, it seemed like that being born and put here and just be totally blank with no guidance, that would be almost like be unfair. That's just my point of view, right? That would be unfair. You're young, you don't really know, but I'm here to tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. Throughout my life, I've always listened to that. It's not really a voice. It's just something that, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. Don't do this. It's like, don't go there today, or forget about this, or don't do that, just out of nowhere, and just like, you can listen to it at that moment, or you can not. Okay. I used to always listen to it, always. I don't know why I did, but I just did. Now, throughout my 52 years, I feel like by doing that, hey, you're doing this, you're doing wrong, stop doing that. Don't do this. It's like because of course you're gonna be out there, you're gonna be making mistakes, and you're gonna be having money tied to you. You don't really understand that the things you're risking, you're probably doing it for money, and you don't really understand. If you understand that capitalism is psychological, you understand that it's not really real. So you don't really understand that you're risking the time in your life for money that doesn't really exist. You don't really understand that. But if you knew that, you'd be like, oh, I'm risking the time of my life for what? Worthless pieces of paper? Oh, hell no, no. I'm not doing none of that. No. You guys want to go do what? Rob what? No. Sell drug? No. Sell drug? What happened if I get caught? Oh, you go to prison? No. Sure. I'm not doing that. Why? I'm gonna lose the time of my life. For what? Paper? For worthless pieces of paper? Hell no, I'm not doing that. I need it all to complete whatever I need to complete while I'm here. Had I known this in my 20s, oh man, you guys don't even get it, man. You don't even get it. That's why you guys just hear me being me now. I'm just like, hey man, I ain't got no more time to be wasting. I don't feel like decoding anything. All I'm talking about is the calculator. If you don't trust it, that's your problem. Mm. But mainly when I get on podcasts like that, I'm really just practicing, okay? It's really practice for me because I know my audiences are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's going to be a lot of angry people. I got to make sure I understand that they're not mad at me. They're mad at math. You guys see me now, and you say, "Hey, LJ, you're so calm." It's like, I'm calm, but I could be calmer. If you guys hear me in the background say, "Oh yeah, you better," okay, that's no, Call me a name, whatever. I don't care. Yell, scream, whatever. Hey, but when they start over talking, guess what? I'm gonna just be quiet. They like you got to really see things for what it is, right? And this is uh my test to see it for what it really is. Like if I'm trying to explain it to him and he's continually to overtalk me, that clearly says he doesn't want to hear what I have to say. Linnell, be quiet. That's it. I don't have to keep over to because if you're both talking, you're not. If he's talking, he's clearly not listening to you. So why are you talking? See, I have to train myself to always know that. Because responding with talking while he's talking, guess what? That's all ego, emotion. Just you're gonna hear me, and I'm gonna talk louder if I talk longer. No, you just be quiet because they clearly don't want to hear you. And and you know it's crazy. I accept that. That's cool. It's crazy. Sometimes then they'll ask me a question. You know, okay, and listen, okay, and this is I have to work on this too. All right, this is what I have to work on. It's crazy. Now I have to sit and listen to their financial story that makes no mathematical sense, and then they're gonna ask me, "Can you do it?" It's like, "Oh, man, yeah, you can do it because 'cause you're borrowing all the money. Yes, of course you can do that." But they're not gonna really understand then you say, "But that's not what I'm talking about. You didn't buy anything." "What do you mean I didn't buy that?" I was like, "Man." But that's just the power of the debt mate. It's just I want you guys to like you guys that follow me and end up owning yourself one day. You're gonna come back and listen to all these videos, and then they're all like, say, like right now, you're just now hearing me, so you're really deep in debt. Okay, one day you're gonna own, and these type of videos really don't make any sense to you today. But when you own yourself, and then you come back and listen to them, then you're gonna really understand what it all means. You're gonna like, oh, that's what he meant by credit report is really an owner's ledger, and owning yourself means yeah, then it'll all click, right? It's going to be the most empowering feeling that you've ever felt in your life. You're gonna be in the same world. Everything's gonna be the same, but it's gonna be different at the same time. And you're gonna have to adjust. It's gonna take you a minute, okay? You're gonna have to adjust, but then you're gonna feel alone, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't really talk to anybody about it." That's all part of the residual from the debt matrix. And then when you let all that stuff go, and then you're gonna meet the people that you need to meet, and then you guys are gonna connect because you're letting go of that's like the old program, right? They can't come along. If they listen, if they don't understand, that means they're not part of the program, and that means they stay. That's what that means. You have to let them go. That makes room for the people that do know, and then you're going to make better connections that's going to better your life, improve your life, all that, everything financially, everything. You're going to meet you're going to meet a different quality of people. I promise you, totally different quality of people. You don't have to worry. Listen, this is what I mean. You won't have to worry about people stealing from you, trying to trick you on investing. d- rape you on prices and whatever. You don't, and you worry about you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff with people that understand how it truly works. People that understand capitalism is psychological, they understand that. What are you doing? You gonna cheat somebody with psychological money? Why are you doing that? It's psychological. They don't know that. They don't know they're the cryptocurrency. They don't know if cryptocurrency couldn't exist without them. Blockchain, a triple chain, whatever whatever the fuck they want to believe, they can just believe it. Who cares? Some guy invented it, some Japanese dude, he's in secret. Nobody knows his name. Hey, whatever story you want to make up for them to believe some invisible coins, whatever. I don't care. That's their business. Whoa, somebody broke in and stole 2 million. Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Whatever. And you know what? I don't care. So what? So is it legal? Yeah, whatever then. If it's legal, I don't care what they do. Yeah, I'm gonna post that link in there. I promise. I just didn't post it right now. I'll post the. Let me say something. Let me 1 second here. Let me see. One second. 1 second. All right, I found the link here. I'm gonna post this link in this chat right now. Okay. I'm towards the end of the stream, and I am going to tag Ramil in this video too. Excuse me. All right, there's the link. Now, if you guys let me, you know what I want to hear? The guys, for the people that caught the show, okay, yesterday, let I want to hear from you. What what did it sound like when I was up on the panel, right? Did I really keep my calm up the whole time? Did I lose it? Because I'm working on never losing my calm, okay? Ever. Right? What'd you guys get from it? Do you think they heard me? Do you think they cared? Because I understand that my gift, n- not many people will ever know. Millions will die never knowing, ever. It's kind of when I say that, it's really kind of sad to even think about that. It really is. It almost makes me want to. It makes me want to cry. It does. Now, if you've never owned yourself, you don't know. If you've been in debt all your life and you believe right now today debt is just part of life, you can never know what I'm talking about to be sad for someone that's going to die while being in debt and thinking and believing their whole life that that is just part of life. Because I remember growing up, I swear to God, people all my life just have told me debt is part of life. Debt is part of life. You need debt. I mean, this is what they do in the debt majors. You need debt to do anything. Other people's money, debt, debt, debt. You see Robert Kiyosaki, he's doing debt. He's debt. You know why they believe? Just listen. You know why the majority of debt slaves believe in people like Robert Kiyosaki? You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Debt slaves don't know the difference between personal debt and business debt. That's why they believe in people like that. That's why they believe in people like Grant Cardone. They don't know the difference between personal debt and business debt. That is the difference. That's why they believe that. They're just showing them stuff that all debt slaves want. They all want money and rich and cars and bullshit, this and that, and gold, this and that. They all want it. Of course, that's just what they do is just business. Like I don't care what Robert Kiyosaki does. That's business. Grant Cardone, who cares how many Rolls Royces he drive in? That's just business. That's for you guys, debt slaves. Until I see his personal credit report, I don't know what he does. I don't care what he shows me. I don't care what anybody shows me. Can I see your personal credit report? Yeah, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. You guys don't know that your personal credit report is your financial passport, baby. That's your passport. That's how you navigate through all of this. That's your passport. That tells everybody that know that you know. That's the passport. Hey, let me see your credit report. Oh, I know why you're asking that. Oh, okay. You might if you like if you laugh about it or something, you might not have to ask about it. Oh, I know why you're asking that. Whatever. Okay, but if you still want to see it, I don't give a shit. That's what you'll say. Would you say, nah, you was too calm, should have cursed him. Like I said, E-Man, you know what? Doing those podcasts, that's my practice because I understand that my audiences are going to get larger and there's going to be a lot of angry people. Now, at the same time, I want you guys to also understand this, and you'll understand this the more you progress into just owning yourself. What I say here, the majority of them cannot hear me. They don't know what I'm talking about when I say psychological capitalism. They don't know what that means, okay? They don't know what that means. You can't Google it. Google's not going to tell them because debt slaves don't ask Google that question because they don't know to ask that question because they don't know it exists. They're not going to Google something that they don't know exists. They don't know to type it in. What are they going to type in? They don't know that. You guys hear me talk like this right out loud on YouTube. They can't hear me. You guys, I know you guys think, oh, that's some matrix shit. No, that's for real. They cannot hear me. See, watch this. Mortgages do not make you homeowner. You can't, no, listen, you cannot buy a house with a mortgage. Now, you see how I said that? Now I'm gonna say it one more time. You cannot buy a house with a mortgage. See how I said that out loud? They have no idea what that means. What are you talking about? You can't buy it. Yes, I did. What are you right now, every one of them that listen to this video now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it won't matter. They'll be like, you cannot, what are you talking about? I just bought a house and I just bought a rental. I had a mortgage. They'll be saying all this. They can't hear me. That's why they do that. I understand why they do it, why they must do that, because that's part of how it works. You think the housing market could exist if mortgages didn't exist? No, of course not. All you got to do is listen, all you got to do is Google how much mortgage debt. Do you think the housing market could exist if how much mortgage debt's out there? Trillions? What if that just disappeared? What happens to the housing market? It disappears. Of course, I understand how it works. I get it. I totally get it. And I accept it. I don't care how they do it. Keep rock on, banks. Hey, whatever. I do sit back and believe it's like, damn, how in the fuck did they convince millions of people that it takes 30 years to pay off one house in your life? How long did it take you guys to get them to believe that? It's like, whoa. You just bumped it up to 40 years? Oh my God. How are you doing that? How are you doing that? Now it's 40 years. They believe it takes 40 years to what, huh? Well, would you say they refinance several times when they're in them too? Oh my God. That's right. I forgot about that. Yes. They refinance things that they never even owned in the first place. How you guys do that? And the whole time they believe they're homeowners. Sure do. Yes. How do you do that? Because they're psychological homeowners, LJ. They're not real homeowners, they're psychological ones. Duh. You got me. Got me twice. You better believe that. When I was a young adult, they got me twice. I financed 2 houses back when I was younger. 2 houses. Thought I was a homeowner both times. Sure did. Sure did. Yes. Got me. Hey, and check this out. You know whose fault it was that I was part of the $1 trillion mortgage problem? You know whose fault it was? Mine. The banks didn't do anything to me. They didn't trick me. It wasn't because of high taxes. It wasn't because of all the taxes that were coming out of my check and all this other. Nope. It was all because of myself, me. You know why I was in child support court? You know why? Me. You know when I was in late 20s, early 30s, I was an angry baby mama, mad dad, blah 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 kids. This, you know whose fault it all was? Mine. I was in the child support court because of who? Me. How come I had to pay so much to lawyers? Myself, me. I caused that, me. Because if I had owned myself at say age 18, none of that would have happened. None of it. I promise you, none of that would have ever happened. None of it. I would have known exactly my direction. Exactly. Exactly. I would have immediately known that I'm different than millions of people around me. I know that. If I would have known that capitalism was psychological at age 18, oh man, you don't even get it. You guys they would have been calling me a whiz kid and all this stupid ass bullshit, all because I trust the calculator. I'd be like, I would have sucked up everything for what it was. I probably would have abused it. That's why I didn't get it while I was so young. Thank goodness. Just because I had the information don't mean I would have probably used it right. Because understanding this, you could take full advantage, which I would never do. Okay, just make sure this is clear. I would never do this because to get here, you must understand that you must not ever do that. But if a person like it just you could yes, you could abuse debt slaves badly. Bad. It's even bad. Okay, it's even worse than what it is. Like right now, they have debt slaves believing in coins that don't even exist. They're not even real. Don't know where they're at, who does what. They just think they put their money somewhere. They're gonna come back cha-ching ching and rich. Whatever they're thinking, it doesn't really matter. But you gotta remember that's not that's not really abuse. Okay. No, they're okay. It's very difficult. Okay, you're doing it to yourself. Okay, you're really doing it to yourself. But as long as you don't know that you're doing it to yourself, it's like Okay, put it this way. If you understand cryptocurrency right now, like cryptocurrency is your thing, man. You're just all in it. You're understanding the algorithms and you knowing what's doing what. I want you to listen to me. Okay. If you don't, if you are in debt while you're doing cryptocurrency, doing whatever, I'm telling you, you are missing a major piece of the whole puzzle. While you're doing that, while being in debt, you are the cryptocurrency. It's you. The reason why it's you, because you don't really understand what you're looking for. It's all you. You're in it. You just don't know you're in it because you're in debt. You don't own yourself. People in debt cannot invest because they haven't invested in themselves first by owning themselves first. But once you come out and you understand this, you will be outside of cryptocurrency and know how it really works. That's like it's totally unregulated. It's like it's like gambling, but sort of because you know exactly what's going to happen and when and why. You could just look and see because you'll be outside of it. You won't be the cryptocurrency. See, most of you guys right now, because of these times, it's looking so beautiful because you guys are desperate. These are rough times. Everybody, I know when you go out shopping at the grocery store and you go to the mall or you go, somebody has a big sale and they all sell out. You're like, God damn, where are all these people getting this money? I know it looks like that, but it's not like that. You know where they're getting that money from? Credit cards. When you see people that you know you're having a rough time at home, but you get on social media and look like they're having a ball, I promise you, they're using credit cards to make themselves look like that. That's not fun. They got to pay all that money back. Trying to keep up with a look they can't afford, and you obviously cannot afford. If you're using credit cards to afford your life, that means you can't. That by default, that means you cannot afford it. That's why I said it takes a strong mind. It will take a very strong mind to accept that fact. Because once you do, all your friends around you think you're broke and you don't you're cheap and uh, you must don't got no money and blah blah blah. They're gonna come up with all these things and ideas and why you can't afford this, whatever. You're gonna have to ignore it all. You're gonna have to just not listen to them because they don't know what they're saying. So when I go into the younger groups like that, like Ramil's channel, I know I'm just gonna get about one or two people out of that group, just one or two. One or two people. I get it. I totally get it. But that's good enough for me. You guys got to understand something. That's the difference between me and anybody like me on YouTube. Okay. Anybody. The content that I produce will always be valid no matter the year. As long as I don't say dates and times of things, some things can't be helped. But if I don't say things like that, you guys won't even know what year this video is in. If I don't put things in there like that, you won't even know because it will always be like this. It will always be like this. What am I talking about? There will always be mortgages. There will always be car loans. There will always be 401k plans, 401k, after tax, before tax, underground tax, whatever the fuck they make up, whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever. As long as you guys believe it, whatever. It will always be that way, always. You're probably thinking, what do you mean by 401k plan? You can't invest in a 401k plan if you got student loan debt older than the 401k plan. You can't do that. You can't match negative dollars. What are you talking about? You cannot get a 401k match if you have student loan debt older than the 401k plan. If you have student loans older than your children and you're telling people how to invest, what are you doing? What are you doing? And if you're listening to this and you start to hear yourself get angry, who do you think he is? And what do you mean? I got student loans older than my children. I'm still successful. You got to stop and ask yourself why. You went to college for 4 years, but you keep your student loans for 20? You got to ask yourself, why did I do that? Why? Then you got to ask yourself, how does he know that my student loan debt is the oldest debt I have in my life? How does he know that? How does he know? How does he know that my student loan debt is the oldest debt I have? How does he know that? Because they get you when you're young. That's why. You guys are in debt. You have no money. Of course, you have to borrow money if you want to go to college because they've been telling you all your life if you don't go to college, you won't be shit. So you believe it. Of course, you have no money the whole entire time. Of course, you're going to borrow some student loan money because if you don't, you believe you ain't going to be shit. So you better do it. I get why they do it. It's okay. I don't care. I don't care why they do it. So what? I don't care. I just look and look at it work its magic. It's just amazing to watch. It's like, wow, god damn. Whew, that's a gut punch. Cuz I remember again, here's one of these things I used to always listen to, okay? When I was getting out of debt, something just kept telling me, pay that pay that student loan debt off. Pay that student. It kept bugging the shit out of me. Pay that student loan debt off. Pay that student loan debt off. Pay that student. It wouldn't shut up. And I'm acting like, oh well, everybody has it. Everybody has it. I'm getting. If I make the payments on time, that's good for my credit. Just making up dumb shit. Just making it all up. Anything to keep it. Anything to not pay it. Thank God I listened to my. Thank God I listened to the voice that kept bugging me to pay it off. Thank God I did that. I remember when I quit my job and I gave them the 2 weeks. I, I remember this feeling of the last 2 weeks in my job when now I'm debt free at this time. I remember the last 2 weeks, I felt like I was a caged animal. It was just the weirdest feeling. Here, I've been working in offices all my career, but these last 2 weeks as a debt free person with a job, it just felt trapped. And I didn't really back then I didn't understand it. But I know today, I know exactly why today. Oh, that's why I felt like that because I was. You feel it, so crazy. You feel it, but you ignore it. It's crazy. I remember I go to lunch and not want to go back to work after lunch. I just wanted to go straight home and just do whatever I want to do, just relax and that just be so lovely you don't stop and think people don't really stop and think, well, you know what? Let me see what can I do to make that happen. Maybe I can do something in my life to where I can only work half a day. At least get your mind juices going just to kind of get your, but you don't really, you just bypass it and think overtime money is going to do it. If I work more, I'll be able to do it. Then people work, what's so crazy? Most will work overtime and go finance a car based on their overtime income at their job. You know how far, not only financing a car, right? But if you go on your job and give your financial information based on the overtime you get at your job, oh my God, that means you don't really think like that, but that says, well, in order for you to have that car, you're gonna have to work overtime all the time. That's gonna be mandatory now. But they so focused on that car, they focused on getting that car so they can go show their friends, hey, look, I got money. I got the brand new XYZ, and they're making payments. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know what they're saying. Now, this is what they don't know. By working overtime pushes them up higher in the tax bracket. Okay, you go higher, so that means you pay more taxes. And then they go to finance a car based on their overtime income, right? So now they got car payments based on that. So now they're locked into overtime. And guess what? Now they're begging for overtime. Say like the job says, all right, we're going to start winding down. Everybody can't get overtime and blah, 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 right? They're going to flip the fuck out. Because I remember I got this one job. They sent me an email. I got the job. Nelson, they sent me an email a couple of days later. Hey, you got to be here 3 months before you start asking for overtime. What? They start begging right away? Do people? It's like, do people get jobs now and say, "Hey, give me all the overtime you can"? It's like, whoa, you just got the job and you already begging, fighting. People, do you know people be fighting? They will, man. People will fight you over overtime. Fight you. Just like this, physically fight. You can have it. I don't want any of that overtime. I don't care. Man, I've been here 15 years. I should get priority or overtime. You've been here 15 years and you believe you should be priority over getting overtime? Oh my God, you can have it. Take it all. That's not a privilege. That is not a privilege at all. None, zero. I'd be like, when I signed up for this job, they said 40 hours, this is what they're going to pay me. Yeah, that's all they're getting, period. I don't need anything more. You guys can fight over whatever overtime you want. Take it all. I'd be like, I barely even want to be here. I don't even want to be here. But see, you start talking like that, that's called pulling down your mask in public at work. You cannot do that. You cannot pull down. You can't be acting like that. Hell, I don't want all that overtime. You guys can have it. They'd be like, "What the what?" They've never heard a person at a job say, "I don't want no overtime. You guys can have it." Because that's what I emailed that job back. I was like, "Yeah, you can have it. I don't want no overtime." I know that shocked the shit out of him. Would you say I was impressed with the extent of delusion on Ramil's live? Glad to know my future is is secure. Yes, it is. Because it has to be that way. See, I know you guys hear me and you don't really understand. You'd be like, well, why are you telling people if why are you telling people to cross over? I don't know. I don't know how you can put it in your brain, but the only way I could tell you is that it has to be that way. Okay. It really does. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to simplify it right now, right? You see how there's trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt? You see that? There's trillions, like with a T. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. If you knew what I knew, those trillions of dollars wouldn't exist. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't be there. I don't want that. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. I don't want that. I'm just telling you what is. If you knew what we know, that wouldn't exist. And I don't want that. That has to. It has to be. Listen. It has to be trillions of dollars. Hold on for a second. It has to be trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt. It has to be trillions of dollars in credit card debt, student loan debt, every whatever debt you guys think of. It has to be that way. Okay, it has to be. I get it. I totally get why it has to be that way. I get it. That's the only way it works. Everything is everything. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say. You guys just don't really. You don't like if I say something like this. Owners don't make payments. Now, those of you get okay. Here's what. That's one of those statements that the debt slaves can't. They don't understand. Owners don't make payments. They can't hear. They don't. They hear me physically, but they don't know what that means. Because you got to understand, millions of people believe buy equals mortgage. They say it every day. Hey, I just bought a house with what? A mortgage? Yeah, you didn't buy anything. But you can't if you say that to them, that's pulling down your mask in public. You don't want to do that. Don't say, "Hey, you didn't buy nothing." You know what you say? "Congratulations." That's what you say. If you see them on social media with a big paper key in the front yard and they say, "Hey, look what we bought." You know what you say? "Congratulations." That's all you say. You know what the congratulations they think it's congratulations to them, but what you really mean is congratulations to us because as long as they believe that they're homeowners with mortgages, that helps us because we are on the correct side of it. Do you understand? That's important. All of that is important. All of it. Nice. It says, yeah, I watched part of the replay on Ramil show. They still don't get it. No, they still don't get it. What's up, Kang? And what's up, chatting LJ? Just listening, finish up my route. I'm gonna catch the Ramil replay live. Yeah, man, gotta catch it. Gotta catch it. I start around 2 hour, 2 minute or something like that, somewhere back, way on the tail end of it. I must have been. I laughed a bit too much and too loud. Oh, during the Ramil thing, yeah, that's serious business right there, man. That's serious. That response was to me. That's honestly, Andre, that's powerful, man. That is just to get that emotional. It was like getting them to go to the calculator was like you know how you show a cross to Dracula or something like that? He's like, it felt like that. I was just like, go to the calculator. Hey, man, listen. I said, just listen. You're getting too listen. I said, just pull up the calculator on your phone. Oh, you think I'm stupid? Oh, I don't need no calculator to calculate. No, I'm not. It's like this. No, I'm not saying that. I just want you to go to the calculator so you can see it with your own eyes. Nah, man, that's stupid. No, forget all that. Just go to it. He's like, "You're calling me this, you're calling me that." I had to interrupt him. I said, "Hey, man, you know I'm not calling you all those names, right? Do you know that? I didn't say any bad name to you." That's what I was saying to him. I said, "You know I didn't say no, well, you implied it." I was like, No, I didn't. I did not imply or I would have said it. I would have if I'm not gonna say something I'm imply, I'm gonna just say it. I'm not gonna say if I but he started telling me, and the other dude, I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm just talking about personal finances. You're talking about business. No, you're talking about business finances too." I was like, "Huh?" I, I said, no, I know the difference. I'm not talking about business finances. You are. I'm not. No, man, it's the same thing. No, it's not. That was not. But see, when I hear him start talking like that, I'm gonna stop. I'm really gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, what's good, LJ?
What's up?
Not a lot. Hey, yeah, I caught the I caught the replay of that stream, man. Cause that's really how I stumbled across the channel on Ramil's channel.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's
just listen,
crazy.
just listen to some of that stuff. It's a great case study. Honestly, it
Oh
really is a great
man,
case study.
man.
Uh, well, like you always said, it's like you really are. You you basically giving out your credit score over the stream type. You know what I mean? Like you could
Right,
tell he's
right.
like and like you said, the way I see it, it's a beauty and simplicity type
It
of
is.
thing.
It
You
is
know what I mean?
for
It's
sure.
like,
For sure.
especially when it is talking about crypto and stuff. It's like some people try to make it seem like the more complicated they make it, they try to throw these they
Right.
try to bring institutes like the one dude. He kept bringing that. Oh, are you telling me you're smarter than J.P. Morgan Chase?
I
That's
know,
like,
right? I was like,
like,
no, you're saying that, not me.
all right, and it's like, dude, that's a business. Like that is
Right,
a financial business. Like,
right,
since
right.
when? Since when are these people in those institutions? Since when are they in the business of being on your side?
Right. They're
You
in
know what I mean?
business
It's
to
like,
be on. They're on business to not be on your side. They're there to make money.
right. They
Period.
and they sitting there right there with the calculator, right? Like I'm on the they that's where they're on the calculator side. If you're not on the calculator side, you're not on their side.
Right. It's like they were just refusing to go to that calculator. Even when I was showing them, Ramil put the calculator up. And I asked, dude, I said, what can you buy with that amount of money? He absolutely refused to.
Right.
He just was fighting.
Yeah, it was wild to me that
But you're right. It's a beauty and simplicity, man. It's just like, and you know, so crazy. This is what I mean. Listen, bro. Somebody designed this.
yep.
Now, imagine the kind of mind that person had to design psychological capitalism. What kind of mind does that take?
Hmm.
Man, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
I dis-
And
I
the
discovered it. I discovered that. I didn't design it.
right. And the most the most fascinating thing about it is that it's a self-sustaining type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't
Yes, it is.
necessarily have to they
Yeah.
don't have to come through and play
Mm-mm.
all these tricks on you and
No.
turn the
Right.
televangelist, roll him in
Right.
and bring the Jehovah's Witness to your doorstep and stuff. It's like,
Right.
once once it gets going, it's already going,
It's going. We wouldn't live. You and I talking right now. We wouldn't live long enough to see anything happen to it. Anything.
Yeah.
It's never changing, and
Yeah.
you can
And that's
ride
the
it.
irony of
Don't even be against it. Just ride that bitch. I'm getting on right now. This what you see. You see how hard I'm going. I'm getting on.
right. I just need a small piece of the pie. And it's like you're just gonna spin your wheels if you're not looking in the right place type thing. And that's the whole
Correct.
irony with the crypto thing is that
Yeah.
they feel like they fighting back against the system or something that's like,
Yes.
dude, if you don't think that these big players and stuff, and I'm in the crypto myself, and that's the whole
Hmm.
thing about it. It's like, but
Well, it's
I
different
don't
for you though. It's different for you. They don't know
right,
that. They don't know
and
that.
it's like I don't, and that's why I don't really like that.
Right.
I don't know. I have no interest in chopping it up with dudes and stuff about it.
Correct.
Especially like in the manosphere, quote unquote, whatever. But I don't really have no interest because
They can't.
it's like
They can't
I
see
don't
your
know where
view
they
of
getting that.
cryptocurrency. They can't see your
Right.
view of cryptocurrency. They can't.
Well,
They're
I
dead.
don't understand where they getting the information that you know what I mean? Like, want to know where they get. Uh, it's like they got programmed answers.
Correct.
It's like when I think it was a different stream. It was the
They're
stream the
getting it
day
from Google.
before.
What do you mean? They're getting it from Google.
It was a
Duh.
stream, right? But it
They're
was a
Googling
stream.
it.
The stream like the day before crypto had came about or whatever, and There was somebody that was like a quantitative analysis where he kind of like trades stocks and forecasts the future and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to get through pretty sure it was the same dude that was going back and forth with you. He was trying to get through to him, like, the fact that cryptos aren't regulated and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no actual product. So there's like nothing really to substantiate, um, the projected future value. And you know what I mean? Like there's just nothing holding it up but speculation, which is
Again, but you got to remember they can't know that because they don't own themselves. See,
right.
that's the hard thing that like people like you and I. That's when you see me on these panels, I'm gonna tell you because you understand. I'm working on really grasping and understanding that. That's why they're reacting because they don't understand. They don't know they're a debt slave. They don't know everything they're saying is don't make any mathematical sense. I got to really accept that what's going to keep me from being drawn into their emotional responses,
Right. And this is the thing too, is like, for people that don't quite understand it and, people that want to learn and they want to take part in it or, they want to invest or this, that, and third. I have no problem with that at all. But the only contention that I get is whenever people try to, they try to sell it to you. You know what I mean? They try to make you see it from their point of view, but it's like you're not even really putting forth, you don't even understand it all the way. So how can you advocate other people do it? How can you give quote unquote financial
Well,
advice?
here's another
Like,
thing you have to grasp too, okay? What they're doing is important. They have to keep spreading the things that don't make mathematical sense. You see what I'm saying?
facts.
That allows you, like I'm now talking to you from a higher level, right? They have to believe whatever they're doing, the information they're passing. We can clearly see that they're passing debt perspective information, right? We can see that. That's obvious. You hear somebody giving out cryptocurrency advice. You turn to him and say, "You got student loans?" He says, "Yes." You know that's a debt perspective right away. Don't even listen to it because it doesn't
But
even
I
make any
have the
sense.
5,000.
Huh? Yeah. What about the 5,000? You said it wasn't real. That's like, oh my God, I don't want to have to explain this. But
Yeah,
see, as soon as and that's the part I got to work on. As soon as I hear him start talking like that, stop talking. Stop.
but
You
yeah.
guys are gonna see me. You guys are gonna see me working on that. Watch.
I don't understand how you said you was getting emotional and you was, it started throwing these ad hominem attacks. Like, what? You the only
Yeah,
one on the panel yelling. Like,
that's why he. I don't want to listen to this guy growing up by a single mother. I was like, what single mother got to do with math? I'm like, what are you
man,
talking? What are you talking? Okay, whatever, man. Just be. They don't. And you know what's so crazy? They don't even know they be making up shit like that. It just that has nothing. They don't. You got to
right?
remember. I'm straight up serious. They don't know why they're saying stuff like that. It's like
Yeah,
single mom ain't got nothing to do with the calculator. What are you talking?
right. And see, that's
Oh,
basically,
that was you trying to be an insult. Oh yeah, okay, whatever.
yeah.
I'm not
Well,
you.
when you get to debating, and even when say if you're having a healthy debate and a healthy
Yeah,
discussion, which is where most things should be at anyway, especially if it's a space where you know people claiming they want to help each other out and they, you know what I mean, things like that. Like,
hmm
there's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion. State your fact or state your opinion and
hmm
state your position and why you feel that way.
exactly,
So it's like once you start throwing ad hominem attacks and you try to insult the other person, you basically conceding defeat, right?
exactly.
But the thing about it, really too, one of the biggest things is like he left the panel, and then like shortly after, Bro Truth, he kind of started getting to the point of, asking you exactly how do you see it the way you see it, right? And that's whenever you start like that's whenever the topic of the business debt came in,
hmm
right? And it's like, okay, if the dude would have just kept his composure, he could have got to why you're actually saying what you're saying and differentiating. Okay, there's different, like he brought up the institution and companies and stuff. Okay, companies taking on debt is completely different than you
Right,
taking on debt. Whenever
right.
you know what I mean, whenever you're making a mortgage payment, a car payment, things like that. Those are personal debts and stuff,
hmm
right? And it's like, dude could have got to that point if he wasn't just emoting left and right everywhere.
Well, yeah, and but You know, on the bigger scale, man, you have to understand that it has to be that the majority must believe that. They have to believe that.
Right. Yeah.
That's not that's and that's a tough thing to accept. You know, that's why you don't. You know, I start arguing back with, and now I'm in convince mode. Oh man, please believe math. Please believe math. I'm not doing that.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say you could have hurt a lot of people's feelings with that shit, but
Oh, and another
then
thing, listen,
again,
Brent,
listen.
and I don't know if you noticed this, and this is the truth. Debt slaves do not know the difference between personal debt and business debt. They don't know.
Right. Yeah. That's what the dude that came on at the end or towards
That's
the
for
end. That's what
real.
he was like.
Yes.
You said something about business debt. It's like he never said anything about business
Oh,
debt.
that's for
Like,
and this is for you, man. I want you to really understand. They really don't know the difference. They think it's all the same.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I think I want to talk about LLCs and things like that. Like,
Hmm.
that's when you start going down that road, and it's
Correct.
like
Uh-huh.
nobody was ever on that. Nobody was
Mm-mm.
ever, nobody ever said anything about none of that stuff.
And you notice,
So,
even when I told him, I said, "Hey, man, I'm not talking about business." He said, "Yes, you are." I was like,
right.
"What?
And then he
What?"
tried to bring his situation. I don't know if his. I mean, he made it seem like he had business or whatever he took debt on for and paid some stuff off or whatever. Like, if that worked, that worked. That's cool,
Well,
whatever.
what's so funny? This, if you pay attention to this too, right? When they start getting emotional, then they start throwing out everything they did and where they're at and how long
Right.
they work at a
Yeah.
place and how much experience they. That's that call. That's that. They think they're proving something to me, but it's really for themselves. It really is. It's for themselves.
Yeah. It's like the true knowledge will speak for itself, right?
Correct.
Like you said, the $1 trillion in the housing market thing, like that's not real.
Right.
Like even in cryptos and stuff, they say, oh, the market cap is $1 trillion. Well, okay, well if five people sell, $250 million worth of it, or somebody,
Right.
a handful of people sell 200 million of it, 200 billion of it. Well, the market cap isn't 1 trillion anymore, right?
Hmm.
And you're still holding it, but okay, what you have isn't worth as much because that's just a projected number anyway. Like it's like the housing market. If half the people were to sell their house, the price of the housing market would literally be cut in half. So it's
And
it's
see,
not a realized number.
when you like just like that, say like you're having a conversation with a person like that. You're trying to talk to them about what you just explained right now, right? Even that to me is like it's too high level and it's total waste of the time in your life because all you gotta do is turn to them and say, "Hey, are you a homeowner?" They'll say, "Yes." You got a mortgage? If they say yes, that's where the conversation ends. Okay, you believe
Right.
you're a homeowner with mortgage. All right. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear any of your financial advice. I don't want to hear tell me how you invest. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just a great case study, man, for real.
Yeah, but you
Because
don't want to get yourself caught up arguing with a debt slave, trying to convince them, man. You just be in convince mode.
exactly. And see, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I don't know if he kept talking about the institutions. Like, I don't know if he knows anything about Grayscale.
No,
But
no.
it's an investment firm which they do stocks and ETFs and all that stuff. But they bought Bitcoin way back in 2017 or whatever. They're the largest holder of Bitcoin. They hold 3% of the Bitcoin.
Hmm.
So it's basically just like a gold and silver paper stock. Like you can buy gold and silver as a paper stock. You don't actually own the gold and silver, but you can just buy it and sell it as if you did. Basically, I mean, it's basically like another form of currency. Honestly, another form. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Um, it's like a unit of account. But um,
I would
yeah,
just honestly, when I get into it, when I decide to get into it, I'm just going to hire a person who is personally debt free that's inside of Bitcoin because they will inside of cryptocurrency because they will know because they'll be outside of cryptocurrency. They won't be cryptocurrency itself. All the debt slaves are the cryptocurrency. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly. Yeah, they're the liquidity. Like they're the
Yeah,
they're
I
the
mean,
they're
you got to remember, cryptocurrency couldn't exist without them. It couldn't. It couldn't be there because people that know wouldn't do that kind of stuff that they do.
yeah. As I say, when they bring up margin trading and all this stuff, leverage trading and things like that, like you're not doing anything but enriching the platform that
Correct.
allows you to do it. Like, and that's the thing with Grayscale. Like Grayscale has the Bitcoin, you're just buying it from them. So if there's a high demand of Bitcoin, well, okay, say a Bitcoin is 50,000 and there's a high demand,
Mm.
uh, they'll charge extra for their Bitcoin. So if you want to go to them, You're not actually having to worry about your keys and custody, and
Mm-hmm.
having to worry about getting hacked and stuff. They keep it for you, but they're gonna charge you more if the demand is high. So you're gonna pay 55,000 for it when it's really worth 50,000. But conversely, if there isn't a high demand for it and they have more than what they need, they'll sell it for cheaper, right? So uh, this is called a premium or whatever. So like right now, like the last year and a half, maybe the premium has been down like 13%.
Mm-hmm.
So people are not actually buying the Bitcoin; they're just going to Grayscale and trading there and getting it cheaper because there isn't a high demand for it. But nobody ever talks about that. And another thing with the institutions, they can sell when they want.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right. Right.
what does that even matter about the price
Right.
going up? How do you gonna say the price is gonna go up when they could just sell it at any time?
You know how I just look at it such. You know what? I look at it as a on a bigger scale, right? Or just a more aerial view. I say there's trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt, trillions of dollars in student loan debt, credit card debt, car loan debt. So the majority of people in cryptocurrency have to be in debt. They have to be.
Oh yeah,
Without them, cryptocurrency couldn't exist because no currency exists for them. So whatever they believe in, I don't really care. But if you're outside looking in, you want to make some fast money. Oh man, that's really, really easy. Really easy. Once you understand, you're like, oh shit, none of this works without them. Nope, sure doesn't. So all you gotta do is just watch what they do when
right.
things happen. Like it's like, say for example, May 1st, when a student loan debt is gonna come, payments are gonna start. That's gonna be a big shift somewhere. Somewhere is gonna shift immediately.
Oh yeah, people gonna be
So
getting divorced and shit.
right. So
I didn't
people
know
that
you had.
understand
I didn't know
cryptocurrency
you
that
had
stands on
student
the
loan debt.
outside of it, right? You know something's gonna happen right here. It's gonna happen. May 1st. It's gonna happen. Are they
Yeah,
gonna
I
start with
believe it.
are people they gonna start pulling their money out because they got to make the payment now? I was like, oh shit, I
Oh yeah,
financed all
yeah,
this
that's a
shit.
big thing too.
Because they financing all this shit while there's no student loan payments, right? You gotta remember this is gonna be big. They're financing all this shit because they believe they have extra money. So they're financing all this shit. But when come May 1st, when those student loan payments are due, now they're not gonna be able to afford all the shit they have.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's gonna be
Yeah.
a
So they
big
gotta
shift.
liquidate. They gotta liquidate. Even with just the inflation and shit now
Yeah.
too. Like I don't know if
Uh-huh.
people was really expecting prices to go sky high on shit, but if you
Yeah.
don't have that disposable income, first thing to go is crypto and stocks and shit like that. So
But you,
you
but
can
if you,
expect that
but
to
if you really
fall.
think about it this way, though, you really think about it. Okay, you got to really take your mind to it. No money exists for them at all. Okay, you got
What
to
about the
remember,
five
think
thousand
about it.
though? Okay.
No money exists. So when you think them all as one, think of it as like a big wave. And you got to think, okay, what's really big? Student loan debt problem. Okay, May 1st, they're terrified for that date. So when that date comes, they're not gonna be. There's gonna be a big ass wave of them losing cars, repossessions.
Yeah.
Are they gonna be running to their cryptocurrencies? Oh, I got some over there. They're gonna pull it out, but maybe the people that know to pull their money out before May 1st.
Oh yeah, that's already out.
See what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
the thing about it. Like that's how somebody described it to me. It's like think of it like a building that's on fire with one exit, one door, and you know what I mean. A building
Yeah,
full of people trying to get out at one time, but there's only
right.
one door. People, not everybody's gonna be able to get out.
You
For
know,
real.
and so crazy. This is just my opinion. Okay, this is what I think they do, just to kind of see how much power they have in student loan debt. Right? Maybe they throw out the idea of forgiving student loan debt just to see how many of them beg for it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just like, oh my God, I hope he saves us, and see how many of them. So they kind of see you kind of get a good idea of your grip.
Right. And see it in the back of their mind too. It kind of leaves that in the back of their mind to where they like, okay, I'm gonna get a bailout. Even if they don't do it now,
Right.
eventually in the future they have to do it. So I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep consuming. I'm gonna keep doing this, that, and the third. Cause what are they gonna do? They have to. You know what I mean? They have to forgive it. Nobody else. You know what I mean? There's too many of us.
What
We
do you mean? You think they don't forgive the student loan debt? Is that what
no.
you're saying?
I'm saying that's what they're thinking in their mind. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean. Because that's what I hear a lot of people say anyway. They're like,
Right.
they gotta forgive it. There's too much. You
That's
know?
crazy. And you see, even that program right there, they don't know that they never will. Okay.
Right.
All right. That they don't know that that's never ever going to happen. They don't even know that. But it's so crazy how they got them believing that one day it could probably happen.
Right. Yeah, that's what that's somebody I listen to. They call it capitalism.
Happen.
Yeah, it's all about just feeling
Capitalism.
good. So it don't matter how much, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter how much you consume, how much this, that, as long as you're happy, you know?
Right. Oh, right. Oh, wow. That's big.
Right, yeah.
That's a big
So,
program right there. Big one. That's hey, you only live this. They start saying shit like you only live once.
oh,
You might
can't
as
take it
well
with
just
you.
you can't take it with you.
You never had it. Don't fuck
You gonna be like you can't tell them just like this. Take what with you? You ain't got nothing.
Straight up, though. Hey.
That'd be pulling down your mask in public if you said that. You know how when they say like things like, "Oh, I lost my house because lost your house." What are you talking about? You never owned it.
Oh,
You didn't
shit.
lose anything. You can't lose something you own.
God
You can't,
damn. Oh,
but
that's just
that's
sad. How'd you
pulling down your
find it?
past. You can't say that to millions of people.
You lost it. You never should have found it. Shit.
Oh my
Straight
goodness.
up,
When you hear
though.
him say that, you be like, damn, you said that out loud in public in front of everybody. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just so much emotion that goes into it nowadays. It's
Yeah.
like you
It's
can't
powerful,
really,
man.
I think I've never heard the expression, money and feelings don't mix or business and
Right.
pleasure type things. It's like
Right.
if I come to you with a calculator, why are you getting mad at me? Like
Right.
what?
Right.
Doesn't even make
Right.
sense. And it's like this is the internet too. It's like you could just like if I have that big of a contention with somebody, I'm just gonna mute up, or I'm just gonna leave. Like
But
like
you
nobody's
gotta,
forcing you to be here
again, but
talking.
think about it. Think about it bigger. Go up higher, right? You got to understand everything they Google, right? The responses they get is just a whole bunch of them giving the same responses back to each other. They don't know that they're giving each other debt advice. They don't even know it. Hey,
Straight
how
up.
can I save money on my mortgage? You can't.
Right.
You can't.
They basically saying how can I not pay as much back? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? How
Yeah.
how can I not pay somebody as much as the next man just did?
How can I save on interest by not getting a loan in the first place?
Right.
That's how you can save on interest. Yes. By actually owning it. That's how you can save on interest by owning it. Yes.
Right.
You again, see what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't pull your mask down in public. You will get mobbed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the business of earning interest, not paying it. You know.
Exactly. But they don't
I
know that's
like
called
APY more than APR.
they
Like,
don't know that's called negative interest. They don't know interest is positive and negative. They don't know paying interest is negative interest.
yeah. Yeah. You put it in perspective too, and you said you finance and taxes too. That's what makes
Yes.
it. Ooh, ouch, ouch,
And
dang.
you know how much debt slaves hate taxes. What if they woke up and what if they woke up and found out and realized that they're financing them? You know how many would flip the fuck out? Oh my God. Oh man, they would be like, what? How many years have I been doing that? On what? Oh my God.
Damn. Yeah, I still got that 5,000 though.
I still, I still got the 5,000. I said, okay, now pretend to hand it to me. You just said it wasn't there. Well, I was like, oh God, I gotta go.
So now
Okay.
you just said now you understand it then. Now you finally understand. Now that I want it, now it doesn't exist.
Oh.
He said a bitch.
And you know what I said to myself? You know what I said to myself? That's my fault. That's not even his fault.
Damn.
That's my fault. See, I accept that. That's my fault. That means I shouldn't have went that far. See, that's my fault.
Damn. Now you got to give it to somebody else. Now you don't got it. Ain't
I
that a
should have
bitch?
known to make an example of physical money, trying to make physical money disappear. That's my fault. I shouldn't have did that.
Man, that's wild. Yeah, I'm gonna get up out of
Oh
here though,
man,
man. Yeah, I'm gonna
that
try to
was
catch some more streams. I've been catching your playbacks. So I've been working and shit a lot more. So
okay. All right, good
it's like
man.
I've
I'm
been.
glad to see you still here though, man.
Oh
Appreciate
yeah,
you.
yeah. I've been working a lot more. So I've been having to catch the playback. So
Okay, no, that's cool, man. I mean, I can feel things big gonna be happening for me this year, man. So it's gonna blow up here. It's gonna take one or two, somebody hearing. That's all it's gonna
yes,
take.
sir. That's all I like to hear, man.
Mhm.
So keep at it. I know you will.
All right, man.
All right, stay up.
Later. I love talking to people that understand. The younger, the better, too, man. Because the younger you know this, man, they're employee-minded. LJ, like Kiyosaki said, they are mentally stuck in the E quadrant. You know what's so crazy? Like when I look at, even when I look at Robert Kiyosaki's uh, diagram, the whatever, right? Whatever. I understand what he's saying. Okay, I clearly understand what he's saying, but what you guys don't know, if you want to understand, put it this way, if you want to understand what Robert Kiyosaki's quadrant thing he's telling you about, if you really want to understand what that means, own yourself first and then go re-listen to what he's saying. Okay. Number one, you'll know right away he's not talking about personal debt. He's talking about business debt. So whenever you hear him talk about, hey, I love debt and I buy everything with debt and bloody debt, he's talking about business debt. He's not talking about personal debt. Okay. But in order for you to understand the difference of what he's talking about, you must first own yourself. And then once you own yourself, you'll look at his quadrant thingy that he talks about and you'll say, oh, I get why he says this, that, this, and that. That's what you do. That's it. But while you're in debt, the majority of people in debt do not know the difference between personal debt and business debt. You guys call debt good and bad, and the debt, business debt and personal debt's the same. You don't pay your taxes right. You pretend money you didn't. You earn money, and you tell the IRS you didn't. Pretend you didn't make it. You're fucking up when you do stuff like that. You gotta stop doing stuff like that. When you guys do like tax evasion, usually people in debt do tax evasion. Okay, let me just tell you that. People in debt, people that don't own themselves, are the ones that usually do tax evasion. You guys are in the negative. None of what you're doing will ever make any mathematical sense because you don't know, you have nothing right off the bat. First of all, if you're doing, it's like this, you don't really put it together. The reason why you're probably doing tax evasion because you want more money and you don't want to participate or whatever, right? Whatever. You're doing it to keep money. That's already a mistake right there. To keep you right there tells you this. When you do shit like that, what you're really saying is this: I'm willing to risk the time of my life for worthless pieces of paper. You should look in the mirror and say that's a problem. There's the problem. The problem's me. Because they tell you right there, hey, if you do this, you can probably get 10 years. You start lying on your taxes and all this other. They tell you right there. And then if you find yourself doing it, you're doing tax evasion for what? More money. That's a problem. And the problem is you. But when you're in debt, you don't know you're in debt. So when you do that, that kind of stuff is obvious to see that what you're doing. It's really clear. Because whatever you're doing in there, you're doing it for money. And if you're risking the time in your life for money, you got some financial problems, obviously. It's crystal clear, I promise you. It's crystal clear. Crystal. Now I'm just me now. First I had to take a little break, kind of regather my thoughts, and it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just come back and be the truth. I'm just be the truth. That's it. Previous lives on the free side is, hey, come get a thing with me. I'll help you get out of debt. No, if you want to change your life, you do. You'll come to me. If you don't, you just don't. I'm here to own yourself. I'm here to help you own yourself. There's nothing higher than that. Nothing in your life. I promise you this. There is nothing in your life higher than owning yourself. Nothing. There's nothing higher. Nothing. Hold on. This is what I do. I help you own yourself. Once you own yourself, every anything you want to be, everything's possible. You know your direction. You know who to listen to, who not to listen to. You know all that. Which groups and podcasts, money people, people talking about investing, and you'll know exactly who and who not to listen to. You'll know. Say it like this. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Say like you're a person out there, you're ready to build a financial firm. You come to me, you'll be the best financial firm or whatever field of financing you want to be. You'll be the best. Because first you would learn, and then you would only hire anybody hired, they would have to go learn this. This is a requirement. Like you work here, the requirement is you can't be in debt. That's the requirement. Imagine having a whole team of financial people all working for you, and all of them are not in personal debt, all of them, and they all understand how it really works. Can you imagine your financial firm? You'd be the best. They wouldn't even understand how you're doing it. They wouldn't even know. Because right now you got to remember, like employers, they're running people's credit reports right now. You never know. Maybe they're doing it so not only, debt slaves think they're checking your credit score or whatever they're checking. Maybe they're checking to see if people there are out there people like me that own themselves and clearly have no debt. And then when they run across their credit report and see it and it's at zero, they're going to be like, "Oh, we found one." But I promise you, they will have already known at the interview. Because when you're debt free looking for a job, your interviews are different. Very different. Very different. I promise you, they're very different. When you have no debt, that means you don't need a job, but you need a job to make some money, but you don't need it like that anymore. When you have an interview, your interviews are different. I guarantee you, the people that interview, they're going to know that you're different. They're not going to figure out why, because the majority don't know debt free even exists. So they're not going to figure out why or why you're acting that way. Why is your energy that way? They won't know because they've never heard of debt free. That's why. That's a different kind of positive energy that people pick up from you. They will pick that up from you because it happens to me every day. But I now understand why it happens, because people are feeling my energy. They know my energy comes out different. I can't tell everybody, I know why you're picking that up. Why? Because I own myself. It's a different kind of energy. Totally different. Happens all the time. Girlfriend always says, "Hey, everywhere we go, everybody's talking to you." I was noticing that a lot. I was like, "That's the shit's starting to get worse." Now I'm called out looking like another person. I'm like, everybody's just staring at me. Oh, that's why. I'm putting off a different kind of energy because it's exactly how I feel inside. I own myself. That's why when you guys see me learning this, man, that negative energy that comes back when I talk about this on other podcasts, that's practice for me to make sure I don't get sucked in at them being upset at the laws of mathematics, which I did not create. I didn't create the laws of mathematics. Why are you getting angry? Oh, shit, they don't know it. They're on that side of capitalism. Oh, they're part of the majority. Got it. Okay. Well, whatever. Next time you guys see me, I'm gonna say one or two, look at the calculator, and then I'm just gonna stop and let them talk. I'm just let them blab, 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 saying shit that don't make any mathematical sense. You just gotta let them be and say, you know what? They're in the debt matrix. Accept it. Like when you get in relationships, man, You don't know to ask to see the person you're about to be with, to see their personal credit report. I have never asked any woman I was in a relationship with that question until now, in close to my 50s. That never came across my mind once, Dawn. Hey, can I see your personal credit report? Why? I want to see how you do your finances. But I didn't ask that because what? I was also in the debt matrix. I didn't know to ask that question. You guys so stuck on credit score, you guys don't even know. When you get with somebody, especially dating, you talking about getting serious, y- that credit report will tell you so much about the person you are about to connect your life with legally, sign up with a house with, co-sign on a car, whatever. All you got to do is ask to see their personal credit report. But once you're out of debt, you already know the signs. Hey, man, can you co-sign a car for me? First of all, they don't even listen. They don't even know you're not supposed to finance a car, right? That's number one. And with them not even knowing, the bank won't even get them a loan by themselves. Okay, they said no. You need a co-signer. And then they want you to tie something. You're legally tie yourself to a debt slave that couldn't, that don't know how to, that can't, don't know you're not supposed to finance a car, let alone get a car on them by themselves, financing it. But the bank knows that. They know the default rate for that person right there is high. So when they default, guess what? They're coming after you. Are you crazy? I would never do that. Never do that. Oh, this is family. I should whatever. Hey, whatever you say, whatever. When you own yourself and somebody asks you a question like that, you know what you say? No. A firm no, too. A firm no. No, well, I would, and we family, because that none of that means anything. The answer is no, no, no. When you co-sign, hell no. I don't. It's like this. I don't even finance cars. You think I'm a co-sign one for you that you can't finance by yourself? You got to be crazy. No. Can I get on your insurance to be cheaper insurance? Hell no, you can't. No. No. No, sir. No. Can you go finance this wash and dry? And I promise I'll make payments to you on it if you no. No. Why? You just asked me to finance a washer and dryer. Hell no, I'm not. No. Anyway, that's it. I'm on here for 2 hours. Oh, let me put this banner up. Cash App is savings minus debt. Cash App is savings minus debt. Everything helps. Much appreciated. That's my email, savings minus debt at gmail.com. All right. I do monthly consultations. Some people, it's a difference. Some people want help they want the blueprint to get out, and some people want to, it's different levels, really. The consultations, like there's people that are already out and they're experiencing a new world and people and how to handle certain things from being unplugged from the old debt matrix versus the people that are going through the debt matrix and and I'm helping them navigate what to listen to, what not to listen to, what to don't do, as they're coming on their journey of getting out of debt. So it's just multiple levels of a consultation. So it's totally up to you. You know, it's really up to you how long you want to be on the wrong side. The capitalism that everybody else can see, or come over here to the understanding that capitalism is psychological, and then you will understand, and then your life will be changed. You'll be living totally different. Everything. Thank you, sir. What's up, Johnny Blaze? Thank you very much. Nicer. Thank you. Thank you. Cupcakes. Kang. As you can see, you guys can see, I love what I do. Absolutely love what I do, and I will be doing this until I'm dead. And as I leave, I like to reiterate this, to not even to not just to show the new people. I want to show the SMD family. I want you guys to see me making something that will be timeless because it's math. Time doesn't affect math. Time has no effect on math, none. The reason why it's going to be timeless because psychological capitalism is going to be here for the next who knows how many years, well after I'm dead. Let's just put it that way. You understand that that's never going to change. So that also makes my videos right here timeless. It won't matter the year that anybody listens to this as long as I don't leave timestamps. It won't matter. They'll think that I just made it this year. They'll wonder if I'm still alive, whatever. It really won't matter. But I want you guys to see it happening. So when you guys come across your journey, it will be the same type of significance. Whatever you choose to do, it will stand out just like this, and it'll be known. It will be like, whoa, that person's different. That person is saying or doing something that nobody else can do ever. And he's like, I'm just giving an example of mine, and he's backing it up with math. He's not wrong ever. Ever wrong. As long as and it's so funny, you guys know, as long as I agree with math, I'm never wrong, ever. You guys are going to take this gift and do wonderful things. Then one day SMD is going to have like a gathering or whatever, and then can you imagine how many like-minded, how many people we're going to meet that understand capitalism is psychological, and then those connections, can you imagine those network business connections at that level? Can you imagine that? Imagine at that level where everybody understands that capitalism is psychological. Now you do business with those people. Can you imagine what you're going to learn? Can you imagine what you're going to be able to do? Everybody understands the rules. There's no scamming and scheming and somebody trying to get over on you. Everybody's going to know how it really works. So you don't even have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about none of it. All right, I'm going to get off. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. All right. Later.